Today, I want to say something that should be of interest to politicians in this country, especially the handshake team. So, Uhuru Kenyatta, Raila Odinga, Francis Atwoli, David Murathe, and all the soldiers of the Kieleweke team. Listen to this and listen well. Listen properly. Today, I want to show you how William Samoei Ruto will be the president in 2022 after getting a resounding victory. I want to take you through the motions that will clearly make Ruto emerge the victor in 2022. This victory for William Samoei Ruto will come in two phases. There will be phase 1 and phase 2. Phase 2 will be determined by phase 1. And therefore, if the handshake team were to stop or is to stop William Samoei Ruto, they must stop him at phase 1. Yet it is precisely at phase 1 that William Ruto is king. Phase 1, ladies and gentlemen, is a referendum. In order to stop William Samoei Ruto from becoming the president in 2022, you must stop him at the referendum. If, on the other hand, as I think it looks most likely, William Samoei Ruto stops you during the referendum, you can as well forget about 2022. And here is why. First, this referendum animal is not quite resonating well with the public, the people of Kenya, as of today. And therefore, it is up to the handshake team to move this thing to a level where it can resonate with the public. Because now, honestly, it does not. Secondly, and because of that may be the reason for the first reason, the issues that you are likely to bring out may not quite be received well by the public. Especially, knowing very well as it were, you want to use the BBI, the building of bridges, whatever, the Building Bridges Initiative, to say this is what Kenyans want. That will not wash. Why? The BBI itself has credibility and legitimate issues hanging over its head. And quite frankly, even the guys within that bridging team do not inspire confidence. And therefore, if you expect to tell Kenyans these are the issues because they have been unearthed and brought to surface by the BBI, in which Kenyans don't quite have much confidence, you already lose at that stage. Secondly, I am quite certain that top on the agenda will be something to do with the structure of government. As it were, William Samoei Ruto has already almost successfully worked up Kenyans against that kind of structure, that katiba inatengenezewa watu. As he puts it, and you know William Ruto is very eloquent, he says we want to give people water, electricity, roads, hospitals, not positions for leaders. And this is kind of being received well by Kenyans. And therefore, since this is your number one priority for the Constitution, the change, I am sure Ruto will successfully work up Kenyans into seeing this is a wrong move. Another reason why this may be a hard sell is that Raila, and I support him myself, I think, as Raila says, we need to look at the bomber's draft and come up with a structure of devolution that leaves us with units that are functional, units that actually have the power to change those regions. And therefore, we are looking at 14 or so regions. But interesting and good as it may be, you are then going to rub the governors and the counties the wrong way, because you are saying, let us kill your counties and help us to do so. Because in a referendum, You need the governors. You need the MCAs, past, present, and future. People who will be opposed to this idea of creating regions at the expense of their counties. You can therefore begin to see the kind of hurdles you are going to face if you bring a referendum. The issue of a prime minister also will also introduce very, very serious complications. Because the moment you introduce a powerful prime minister, because in any case, what will be the point of taking Kenyans through a referendum, costly, time-consuming, divisive? What would be the point if you did not change the structure of government in such a way that you create a powerful prime minister? If you are not going to do that, then there will be no point of changing the constitution. Yet, to have a prime minister, you will invite two big problems. Let me just mention one. The big problem here would be people will insist, especially from the populous regions like central Kenya, they will insist you cannot introduce a powerful prime minister without restructuring the constituencies to bring what they call fair representation. I don't believe in that nonsense. But this is what will be the biggest challenge, that you'll have to restructure the constituencies so that every vote counts before you introduce the prime minister. It is wrong, I know. Look here, there's nowhere in the world where constituencies would be created ideally based on the number of people in that country. That will be wrong. Because then you are saying northeastern Kenya, Garissa, Wajir, Mandera, and the rest of these scarcely populated countries will never get adequate members of parliament. This will be wrong. This won't be our country anymore. But that's going to be a very, very serious thing. And therefore you can begin to see the kind of challenges you'll get. Which challenges William Samoei Ruto will exploit to the maximum to defeat you in the referendum. But finally, the reason why you are going to lose this referendum is in the campaign itself. In 2017, 2013, there's no dispute. The role of William Samoei Ruto in the Jubilee campaign cannot be gainsaid. He was the ever hard-working man. Remove him from that campaign, I doubt that they would have succeeded. And therefore, you are going to go up against William Samoei Ruto, who, with very, very little backing, almost none except the church, was able to challenge, in my view, in a handsome way, the 2010 referendum, single-handedly. And now he has many people behind him, and is an astute campaigner. I know Raila is a no-beat man when it comes to campaign, but in terms of conversion, he's a little weak. And therefore, pitting Raila against Ruto in the campaign, it will be a very interesting campaign. But let me tell you one reason why Ruto may beat you people in the Kieleweke and handshake team. You are not only disorganized when it comes to converting the game into a goal, the dribbling into a goal. You are poor at structure, especially Raila Odinga. You don't like working with structure. Now, if you are going to work with euphoria minus structure, and you are going against William Samoei Ruto, he will beat you. He is also likely to beat you because he is generous. You are not generous. He is going to use his resources. I hear he has some resources, I don't know. You have resources, I know. But I also equally know your team is poor at utilizing those sources. Wakenya wanasema nyinyi ni mkono gamu. Huyu kijana mwingine kidogo anatoa. Kwa hivyo atawapiga katika referendum. Now, if that is the case, then it remains that for you to win the referendum, you might have to do one or two unorthodox things. And this is how it becomes even more difficult for you. William Ruto is that kind of guy who is going home with a girl he has successfully seduced a girl. He's taking that girl home. My friend, you will not take that girl from William Ruto. He will die with a girl in the hand. You know what I'm talking about. Now, let's go to phase 2. If, as I have explained, and which the Kieleweke team must work against, if, as I have explained, William Ruto successfully then wins the referendum, two things happen. and they lead him to victory. Number one, he gets the psychological advantage of getting the fence sitters, people who are not sure, people who are not. Let's say this guy is tough. If he can beat this government team, then he will win 2020. For that, he will get people who are not decided. Secondly, a lot of his supporters who are kind of 50-50, they will now firmly fall in his place. It will give them the confidence to support him. That psychological boost that will come from the referendum will start a momentum that you will not manage in 2022. Secondly, the 2022 game on the handshake team, I believe, is firmly founded and based on the distribution of the positions that will have then been created by the referendum. Now, in the absence of those positions, your work, Uhuru Kenyatta, Raila Odinga, and Francis Atwoli, Murathe, and the rest, becomes extremely difficult, because in the absence of the office of the Prime Minister, your game is almost, you are dead on arrival. So, the Kieleweke team, the leadership and the foot soldiers, now you know. Don't say I didn't tell you.